day job, running fast from the way it was. Jump quick to a paycheck, running back to the strip club. I'm never going back, never going back.
I'm talking and y'all can't hear me. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. We're going to switch the script. Let's see. So we're here to talk about. Is it gonna go? What is it? Hold on. I'm trying. Why is it not moving? Hold on, y'all. I don't know why it's acting up. This is really not it. I'm going to delete this too. I don't know why it won't click on what I need to click on. Okay, here we go. This is what I'm here to talk about. This is no disrespect to the family of the victim, or anyone. I want to say that first before I start. So we're going to get into some things. This is Anthony Metcalfe. Anthony Metcalfe went to high school in Frisco, and he had a twin brother, right? And he had got unalived by Karmelo Anthony, not with a C, but with a K. Now, when this first came out, it was a lot of things said that, he messed up his life. They can't believe that he would do this. It wasn't enough information that Texas put out to say what had transpired. So people were doing some digging. And we finna get into this. So basically, it was said that Jerome Trammell, he said, per the report, Austin assaulted Karmelo, and he replied, "Don't touch me again." Austin did, and that's when he defended himself. Anthony was outnumbered, so of course he protected himself. Over a dozen witnesses corroborated this. Okay, so basically said Anthony and his twin brother were, bullying Karmelo, right? And a lot of people seen it, and basically he was protecting himself. It also said, okay, this is what people saying, not me, that basically, they've been bullying him the whole school year. And it just he didn't mean to puncture him in the chest and the heart or anything like that. He was just trying to get them off of him. That was just the thing. So then he said, the police said that they arrested Karmelo Anthony. He told them he was assaulted first and defending himself, asked if Austin Metcalfe was okay, and asked if what he did was considered self-defense. So they were saying, stop trying to make him look like a thug. Now, Karmelo was an honor roll student he had a 3.7 GPA. So he was close to having a 4.0 before his next school year. He had no criminal record. He worked a job at the school. He was just reacting fast because he panicked, because they were saying that basically they was outside in the tent. It was raining. They went to go sit down after the rain and basically sit down, and Anthony saw Karmelo's stuff, pushed his stuff out the way, and sat there. And he asked him, "Could you please get up?" And they just got into a disagreement. So honoring Austin Metcalfe helped his family heal. Okay. So his name is Austin. I'm sorry, it's not Anthony. I guess Anthony is the other twin. So it was a lot of bullying going on. Now, I'm gonna play some clips. The father basically was saying, Austin father say, hey, we're not gonna make this a race thing. You can't make it a race thing. True, because your son was a bully. Okay, everybody was saying that he was a bully. He was completely bullied. Let me see if I can go into some videos, y'all. I'm gonna see if I can find some. So the GoFundMe that they had for the 15K is gone. It's gone. Okay, now this is where we're gonna play with this man, because when I first heard it, I knew, I say something's not right. Ain't no child just gonna spaz out his, you know what I'm saying? It's not them. And a lot of people felt that way.
This dude was the actual fucking victim defending himself. And if you didn't know that they were trying to paint him out to be a menace, just go look at the last video and go read all the fucking comments that are in the section. Now we're finding out that witnesses are saying that they went and fucking physically assaulted this dude. Look, when young people die, it's a fucking tragedy. When young people do something horrible, it's a fucking tragedy. People, just take this lesson from Theophil. Mind your own fucking business. You see somebody stealing meat from the grocery store. You didn't. Somebody sitting in the wrong seat and it's not your seat, don't say shit to them. Also, a lesson in throwing hands, just throw the hand. But more importantly, parents, you gotta teach your kids to mind their own fucking business. They're not the fucking authority. There's a line to be drawn, okay? If this kid were assaulting a girl and then them kids want to, then that's a whole different story. But if somebody's doing something slightly inappropriate, mind your fucking business. I told y'all,
All
as the
right.
story fucking breaks,
I
y'all are
just want to
seeing
see
that
what he
these
had to
kids were the
say.
aggressors. This dude was the
Hold
actual
on,
fucking.
y'all. This is what this lady's been reporting. So she's gonna talk about the GoFundMe that they posted.
You guys, this is not good for Karmelo Anthony. That GoFundMe page that raised $15,000 has now been taken down. And here's why. GoFundMe prohibits you from trying to raise money for the legal.
Well, first of all, Kelsey, you can't say that when Austin basically, yeah, I'm gonna get off her thing because she don't even know her story. Austin basically was doing that and that people saw it. So it was self-defense. So you can call it weak, whatever you want to call it.
17-year-old Karmelo Anthony is claiming self-defense after fatally poking Austin Metcalfe at a Frisco, Texas track event.
And police say Anthony admitted to what happened, but said this to police. He put his hands on me. I was protecting myself, even asking another officer if what happened could be considered self-defense.
According to multiple news outlets, Karmelo Anthony was actually confronted by Austin and his twin.
An argument over where Anthony was sitting while the meet experienced a rain delay sparked a confrontation between the teen and Metcalfe. He's sitting underneath Metcalfe's team tent. A witness telling police Metcalfe told Anthony to move from under the team's tent because he didn't go to their school.
From there, I'm guessing he was intimidated because he reached in his bag and told them, if you touch me, watch what happens.
Anthony grabbed his bag, opened it, and reached inside and proceeded to tell Austin, touch me and see what happens.
Twin of Austin has already admitted that they approached him in order to get him to move seats. Following Austin and Karmelo getting into a quick tussle, Karmelo actually put out a KNIFE and poked Austin in the heart, resulting in him passing.
And police say Anthony admitted to what happened, but said this to police. He put his hands on me. I was protecting myself.
Now, after local authorities detained Karmelo, they were on their dispatch system saying how he allegedly committed the crime. And he told the officers, no, this is not alleged. I actually did it. And he actually asked another responding officer if he believed the event counted as self-defense.
Been asking another officer if what happened could be considered self-defense.
The father of Austin Metcalfe has spoken out, claiming that the boy is lying about self-defense, and he is only lying because he got caught.
No. We just saw someone say that basically the whole school that was out there seeing Austin put his hands on him. He put his hands on him. So what if the tables turned? It was Austin. Then what was y'all gonna say? Let's just be honest. You don't send your kids to bully nobody and to jump nobody.
Wants to get out of it.
What do you expect? If you're caught, the best thing you're gonna do is try to lie your way out of it.
Not gonna lie, I could definitely see how Karmelo Anthony could feel intimidated if two large teams were fronting him, trying to get him to move and put hands on him first. Accusers have come up with all type of synopsis on why they believe Karmelo Anthony will get off on self-defense. They're claiming that it was an unprovoked confrontation, and the fact that they were twins against one person created an environment for Karmelo Anthony to potentially fear for his life. I've seen people posting these photos of Karmelo Anthony all over the internet, saying how he was danger and a threat to society. I don't know if that's true. I'm just trying to see how this entire situation is going to play out. I'm curious to know what y'all think about this. Let me know down in the comments, y'all. Peace. 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony is claiming self-defense after fatally poking Austin Metcalfe.
Okay. Oh, let me see what she has to. This one has to say the BOYB legal breakdown. Let's look at her.
Under Texas law, self-defense, including the use of deadly force, is justified when a person reasonably believes it is necessary to prevent imminent harm or death. We get to the fact that they were there for a track meet, and Karmelo is an athlete. Word on the curb is Austin was not on the track team. He was just a football player. So what was Austin doing there during school time?
What was Austin doing there?
And
If Austin, hold on, to make it a point, she landed her plane. If Austin wasn't on the track team, which he wasn't, and we saw he wasn't, what does that? Why is he there?
Your brother. So allegedly, Karmelo was sitting under their school tent, which is not against the law.
It's raining out.
Not against the law. And allegedly, customarily, that's what a lot of these teams have been doing, sharing and caring. Karmelo is seen under the tent. Allegedly, Austin, the big bad wolf, rose up on Karmelo, who is not even close to being his size. Austin is around 200 plus pounds. Now, this is where Austin starts to mess up. Yes, I'm putting the blame on the deceased because it needs to be. We're not doing that because everybody has so much energy from Karmelo, but let's look at it from the lens of Karmelo. Austin is a child. He has no authority to tell another student what he can and cannot do, regardless of if he is a student at the school, because guess what? They are children. Which means the only people that have the authority to tell Karmelo what to do under that tent
is the coaches,
is a school administrator. That would have been the perfect person to tell Karmelo to escort or leave out of their tent. Not Austin. So that was his first mistake. And if I'm Karmelo, I'm looking at this big, healthy, country built boy. And I'm like, that's not what we're doing. So allegedly, which I'm trying to figure out how his brother, if his brother said he was right there, but his back was turned, how did you not hear your brother over there minding the business that did not give him authorization? So he proceeds to, I guess, start to tell Karmelo, get up or else. And allegedly, Karmelo said, put your hands on me if you want to. That is not inviting Austin to do anything. That should have been an indication to Austin to walk away. Not to mention, I'm still trying to figure out what was he doing there if he was not an athlete on the track team during school hours. Nobody want to talk about that, because if Karmelo was not on the track team and he just so happened to be there, that would be all up in yonder about that. So we gonna make sure that we highlight that. Allegedly, that's when Austin became aggressive. Allegedly, he puts hands on Karmelo. for self-defense when an individual is unlawfully attacked. And this too deadly force if the person reasonably believes that their life is in danger. At that moment, allegedly, something transpired to where defended himself. This falls under self-defense. I believe that Karmelo fits all three sections. Austin, based off of the information that we have found out, he was the aggressor. Allegedly, he's the one that attacked Karmelo first, which would render that an unlawful attack. Under Texas law, self-defense, including the use of deadly force, is justified when a person reasonably believes it is necessary to prevent imminent harm or death. We get to the fact that they were there for a track meet, and Karmelo is an athlete. Word on the curb is Austin was not on the track team. He was just a football player. So what was Austin doing there during school time? What were you doing there, Austin, and your brother? So allegedly,
Okay.
Karmelo was sitting under their school tent.
What I don't like is people basically trying to put Karmelo as, oh, he was a bad kid. But y'all bullied that boy. And what I'm not understanding is why is our people and people who know that they were bullied think it's okay and feel sympathy when they've been bullying him and then feel like it's okay to release stuff about Karmelo, but y'all not releasing this. Why is that okay? Release both. Let's see what this person had to say. They say false narrative.
So with the Austin Carmelo situation, I want to specifically focus on because people are sending me information. And the first video that I made on here was context to clear up certain things and certain narratives around Anthony, Carmelo Anthony as he goes through this. Number one, too. I don't. The court of public opinion doesn't matter, but I do want to clear this up. So this young lady put a story out there. It says CBS 11, and I went to go check the story out as well. She's also deleting a lot of like the things that she's posting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this was a narrative that was out there where he had a previous, he has been previously suspended for bringing a.
I think this is the same woman we watched her TikTok. I think this is the same lady, if I'm not mistaken, that was going on there and basically trying to clip stuff on her TikTok of saying what she want to say about the GoFundMe and stuff like that, because there is a GoFundMe for Karmelo Anthony. Let me put it up on my phone and see if it's still there. But there is a GoFundMe because, listen, there's a GoFundMe for him. I believe I'm finna see. But I'm going to say this. Yeah, it is one. I'm going to say it after this video. I'm going to say it going towards the end, because if y'all ain't paying attention to how they got it so divided and how Texas is a red state. If y'all not paying attention how it's been so divided since November, and people feeling like they could push up on Black people a lot, or people of color, or different ethnicities, y'all, this is just the beginning. They're going to be pushing up on them a lot more. And because they can get off and they can get the sympathy, they're going to do that. Okay? But Karmelo Anthony does have a GoFundMe.
A knife to school. Okay? So I see a lot of people running around with that narrative under all the comments. Well, he's done this before. He skipped school. We're going to talk about that too. That is a lie. There are also people calling her out on her lie that she's redacting or she's cutting out pieces of the investigation, right? And then she's also saying that all this information is from a reliable source, very close to the investigation. And people are asking her, like, how are you even getting that? How are you getting that from the school and things like that? She's not responding to those, right? Um, and so, but it's a lie. He has never had Carmelo Anthony has never had an incident where he
Yeah.
pulled a knife or had a knife on him. This is like the first time. Also, for people who are saying that he's not supposed to be at that meet, he was skipping school, things like that, that is a lie as well, right? Carmelo, this is literally from CBS. CBS News Texas also asked Fresco ISD what security protocols was used at the track meet, and the district did not answer that question specifically. The district did say that Carmelo Anthony was at that meet as a track athlete and participant. So he was supposed to be there. So for people going around saying he was skipping school, that is false. For people going around saying that he had that knife and he had a previous incident with the knife,
For you guys coming in, you can like and also share this if you would like, because the truth do need to be told.
that's false. Okay. So again, this is why context matters. And again, this does not excuse him stabbing a young boy. Even if y'all want to say self-defense, I can understand that. But at the end of the day, he did bring a knife onto school property. Personally, if you ask me, I think he's still going to get some type of repercussion from that, even if he does not go to jail. Okay. Um, and it's just a terrible situation where two boys' lives have changed and lost. And I feel so terrible about that. Excuse me. I feel so terrible about that. Right. Um, and I pray for the families. Pray for everyone that's involved. But we got to stop spreading these narratives just because we want to see justice, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with the Austin Carmelo situation, I want to specifically focus on because people are sending me information.
Okay. So
And the first,
whoever that news lady is, first of all, I went to school for journalism. I did not finish, but I'm going back. She needs to be fired. She's not supposed to do that. She's supposed to get all the information that's needed and get whatever she can. She's not supposed to do that. She's not. Do I want to hear other people? I don't know. Let me see.
All right, what's going on? I want to hop on here really quick. I usually don't get into any of these political things. I don't go back and forth with people, but this Austin Metcalfe and this Karmelo Anthony case has been all over my timeline. Instead of me responding immediately, what I did was I waited for more information to unfold, waited to see what transpired. First and foremost, let me say this. It's unfortunate that two people lost their lives in this process, right? Prayers go out to Austin and his family, and the same thing for Karmelo and his family. But this is what I want to say. Everybody in the comments that don't look like you and I are making Karmelo out to be this thug gangster, showing his pictures
I
on
agree.
his social media and all these things. When
I agree, because they have the upstand to do that. They're not and like I said before, it's been so divided, y'all. Like, a lot of people don't want to tell the truth. Oh, this who I stand with? Yeah, but it's been divided. And even people that look like us are starting to realize how divided it is. Even the people that don't look like us realize how divided it is now, and how, people who can bully and be racist or whatever. I don't know if he was or not, but have that standpoint that they can get off and they can use, I'm it's gonna be fair for me type situation. And he's right. It's very sad because we have people out here really rallying for everybody to be united, but then you have people who are in the comments on TikTok calling him names and they ain't even doing research. They didn't even do research on the Pakistan situation. Like, let's be for real. So it's very sad. And it's very ignorant and miseducation at this point.
Austin also has pictures of him holding guns, throwing up the middle finger, and all these things. See, what we do is we villainize black people all the time. And this is what I need black people to understand. You can speak to your blue in the face. You're never going to make a case that they're going to accept. So stop trying to prove something to people that refuse to see their white privilege, that refuse to acknowledge what happens in this world and what historically has happened to us as black people. They don't want to see it. They don't want to hear about it. We have always been deemed as aggressive, angry, mean victims all the time. But if we look at historical context, we were not the ones hanging people from trees. We were not the ones cannibalizing black people. We were not the ones getting free labor off of black people and beating them to death or throwing them out of a boat into submission. We were not the ones raping slaves, female slaves, male slaves, selling. Historically, black people did not do those things. We wouldn't walk around burning torches. We didn't walk around in white sheets. We didn't do any of these things. But yet, black people are the threat and danger to society. And this is what I'm talking about. And I'm a licensed mental health therapist. I have multiple degrees. So don't try to come on here and come for me and say I'm ignorant. I don't know what I'm talking about. I do study and research and a doctoral candidate. So I don't want to hear any of this stuff that you got to say about, oh, you don't know. What I'm saying is this. The amount of racism that exists in these comments is sickening. It's disheartening. We all know that we never get a fair shake. We all know the system was never designed for us to get a fair shake. Research shows this. And then they talk about.
Okay. Yeah, he's honest because we just watched how they tried to say he been had one, he's been in trouble. Karmelo, excuse me, I'm sorry. Karmelo has never been in trouble. At all. And I waited. When I heard the story, I said, no, I'm gonna wait because he's never been in trouble. That boy has a 3. We just read he had a 3.7. He wasn't just on a track meet, but he also was on the football team. Now, let me put it to you like this. A lot of times you can be on the football team or on a track meet. It depends on how the season for the school go. And it's very, very sad. Good morning, Blueberry. It's very sad that this young boy, I don't know if he's told the teachers. I don't know if how the situation happened. I don't know if he went to that school. I don't know if there was administrations out there. I don't know. We have to wait till that unfold. But my question is, why did they feel like they had to be, now that stuff is coming out? First of all, why were they there and they wasn't at home? Why were they not hanging out with their friends or after school at an activity or at work? So you just want to mess with the opposite team. And the reason I believe they messed probably Karmelo was on opposite team. I went to high school, and if you've been to high school, you know they do that. They had to be a rival school, and they felt like they could pick on him because maybe he was a track team star. Plus, if they was on football teams, right? He probably was the football team star at that rival school. That's what I'm getting. What was the purpose of keep bullying him for? I believe that they had a football game. Him and Karmelo and Austin probably got into a scuffle at one point. Football boys do it. That's a typical football boy thing. Coaches broke it up because Austin probably felt like he played better than him. This is just how I feel, being honest. And it got from there. And then probably Austin felt like if I see him again and I know that school gonna be there at our school at a trap meet, I'm gonna be there. And I'm gonna bully him. That's what I'm getting. That's what it sounds like. It's typical high school mess. Question, where was the administrators? That's what I want to know. So we're gonna get into what father had to say, but that's just what I'm sensing. And this is what we're gonna play this with the brother. Hold on. And they really did try to bully him because I believe they were rival teams. If y'all know anything about football and basketball and college and stuff, it's always rival teams. And y'all notice even in the NFL, let's be honest, we have seen teams in basketball play a scuffle. What is his name? Draymond Green has scuffled with some opposite team players. Plenty of times. We've seen that. We saw that they have rival teams and I don't know what it is, they just go at it. I don't know what it is. They go at it. That's just how I don't know why.
This kid, before I knew his name now, this kid was sitting under our tent at track. We asked him to move. He started getting aggressive and talking reckless. And my brother stepped in and said, "You need to move." And he's like, "Make me move." Austin grabbed his backpack. The kid, I tried to whip around as fast as I could, but I didn't see the stab. But then I look at my brother, and then I'm not gonna talk about the rest. So just that's just what I saw. And I try to help him, but
Your mom told me that you were there.
Yes, ma'am.
If you don't mind, what happened?
There was this kid, before I knew his name now, this kid was sitting under our tent at track. We asked him to move. He started getting aggressive and talking reckless. And my brother stepped in and said, "You need to move." And he's like, "Make me move." Austin grabbed his backpack. The kid, I tried to whip around as fast as I could.
Oh, let me see if I can find the father video. Oh yeah, that is the same lady. This the same lady I was just watching. Remember, this the same lady that's supposed to be a news anchor. This her on Facebook. Yeah, this her. This the same one on Facebook putting loops and holes in story and never asks questions. Okay. She said that his that let me go to find his GoFundMe before we're gonna stop sharing. Let me see. Don't find it because she said that his GoFundMe was down. No, it is not. Let me share this. Okay. Here we go. So his GoFundMe is still up. Put an X. It is still up for his legal fees. Oh, hold on, y'all. And it's here. It says the fundraiser set up by Ladarian Wayne claimed that Karmelo is a well-mannered man and acted in self-defense. This comes after Metcalfe was stabbed in the chest as he attended a track and field championship at Carkendale Stadium in Frisco. So yes, he still has a GoFundMe still up. There is no word about the GoFundMe being taken down. This is for his legal fees. So lawyers and things of that nature It's still up. Let me see if I can stop sharing. What I have a feeling of who gonna take. I don't know why it went out, but his thing is still up. I have a feeling of who gonna take this case, y'all. I ain't gonna say who I think gonna end up taking it, but I have a feeling of who gonna end up being his lawyer. Let's go with what Metcalfe father had to say. I had a feeling who gonna be Karmelo lawyer. I do.
If it wasn't for my faith, I wouldn't be here. My other son, who was there, was holding his hands on the hole, trying to save his life. He told me, Dad, I looked at him. In his eyes, he was gone. He wasn't breathing. If there is a precedent or some precursor that maybe this could have been prevented, I don't know. I am concerned with the lack of security. How does someone bring a knife to a track meet? If it wasn't for my faith, I wouldn't be here. My other son, who was there, it's very unfortunate that this other child decided to make a bad choice that's going to affect him for the rest of his life. I have compassion for every human being. This is not, I want to make this very clear. This is not a race issue. This is not a black and white issue. I don't want someone stepping up on a soapbox trying to politicize this. I don't appreciate some of the remarks I've seen online that people say there was this fight and they don't know. They weren't there. I know the truth. So unless you were there, unless you saw it, don't spread gossip.
Just to ask you this one question, like I had mentioned, the self-defense argument made by the suspect. What's your reaction to that if that's used in court or used?
As a defense attorney, they're going to try every avenue. That's their job. The truth will come out. There were too many people that were there that saw what happened.
Sir, I understand you upset. I get it. But there were people that said that your son did step up to that boy. I'm just saying.
My own son told me what happened. There was never a punch even thrown. So I don't care. There was never a phone broken. We've never had contact with this individual ever.
How do you know that your son never did? Like I said, it's a rival team. I've seen how rival teams go. This is what I'm saying. I've seen how rival teams go. I don't believe they actually be at them kids. It sounds like he's not always there at the games of practice to me. That's what it sounds like. Because we're gonna watch Karmelo dad too. It don't sound like he's never at their practice. And I know a content creator who is a mother, her and her husband show up at their boys' practice and they're in high school. She say it every day. There are rivals and you have to be there because it gets heated. Oh, it gets heated. We're not going to act like it don't.
So unless you were there, I don't appreciate all the gossip and all the mistruths that people are speaking at this moment.
Is that shocking to hear
I don't think
or
he's
read?
ever there. I don't even think that his son was on the team, and that's what it sounded like to me. Let's see if we can find Karmelo father interview. I'm sorry. That's just what I'm getting. I want to see somebody say y'all need to look, and I'm going to look myself. And a lot of people feel like he doesn't have a father. And I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't know who this is. Let me see.
So Carmelo Anthony's father has came out and he says that his son was a good kid.
Man, you know what? I have to beg to differ. Like, I totally disagree with what you say. This has nothing to do with mental illness on Carmelo Anthony's behalf. But you try to make it seem like it's not about race when clearly it is, especially within this country when it comes down to situations like this. You know what this is? A fuck around and find out moment. And that white team fucked around and found out. You see, he took it upon himself. Him and his brother felt that they had the right to put their hands on Carmelo Anthony to remove him from a tent in which they wasn't even participants of the track. So what right did they have to even question that young man, let alone put their hands on him? You see, you say that this isn't about race, but yet you speak to everything that Carmelo Anthony did, even post a picture of him holding the firearm, but you say it has nothing to do with race. But then you didn't say anything to the nature of what the fuck the white team did. And it's in the
I mean, it's in the report. Let me see.
So it looks like the father of 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony is speaking out. Come here, let's talk about it. So as we are well aware, the narrative of Carmelo Anthony has been plastered all over social media, seemingly finding the worst images, trying to paint him as a terrible child. But Carmelo's father stated something different. He stated that he was a good kid. And he also stated that his son did not provoke the incident. And of course, people have their differences about how one reacts in a situation of this manner. He stated that Carmelo worked 2 jobs and also had a 3.7 GPA. So whether one agrees or disagrees with the outcome of the situation or not, the deliberate slander of Carmelo is right on cue for media, regardless of if he was the perpetrator or the victim. He would still be slandered all over the media. So we have seen this narrative time and time again, trying to sway public's opinion before due process is given. And this is an awful tragedy that shouldn't have happened. But to take it and use it to further your agenda is insane because there is no wrong or a right answer in this situation. There is no winner. This is not a debate. This is a tragic incident that has happened. So it
Okay, so Carmelo Anthony father did state that was his statement. Um I can't go look into everything because he is a child and I'm not trusting. Let me tell you something. After I told y'all last year that when it comes to media, if you pay attention, they're not going to do fact checks anymore. They let you post whatever you want to post. I said this, and the reason why is because they don't fact check either. Okay, he got his people blind, side, and don't fact check, and we're starting to see that. Number one, we have to understand this is about race. This is about race. And I'm gonna tell you why. There was a young girl that got killed at school, and all the parents rallied. She was 14 years old. Let me see if I can find it. Black kids at a school, you ain't hear media talk about it, and I've been trying to wait to get my teeth into it because number one, parents need to know what's going on in these schools. 14 lost her life at school because both of the girls were doing their bullying of each other, fighting, whatever case of each other. Come to find out, the parents were trying to pick the kids up. They didn't know anything till after the incident happened, which was time to pick up the children. Now we have a white child and a black child. The white child was bullying, black child reacted. It is what it is. It's a sad situation. Both lives are lost. This is getting the most media cover I ever seen, but that little black girl that got stabbed at school did not, because it was a school fault, that the teachers didn't help stop the bleeding of that young lady, and the teachers did nothing about it, and that was their fault. There is no media coverage, and they try to cover it up. Stop the bull. You don't give a damn about children. And we've been saying this from time and time again. This situation showed me they still don't give a damn about kids. Because from what I've been hearing since I've lived here in Texas with the school system, is that the teachers in the administration is never fucking present. We just got done talking about how CPS is never present on the Nazaria case, in Janaya case, but there is never a point of why now it's coming to administration. We send our kids to school, we're paying for them to go to school. Why the hell they're never present? High school or not? What are you doing that you're so caught up that you cannot pay attention to these kids? They don't give a damn for these kids, and they don't get paid enough for these kids. I'm being honest. I've been said, and I've said this time and time again, homeschool your children. There are activities they can get into after the homeschooling. And everybody say, oh, they need to be social aware. How can you be social aware when stuff like this is going on at school? Where we send them to be safe. We're sending them for 8 hours to learn, be safe. And now I see what people mean, that it's becoming a prison thing for kids. You go to all these different countries, they pour into what they want to learn. If they want to be a contractor, a doctor, a nurse, by the time they hit kindergarten and they ask them what they want to be, they already starting that process and starting them well. They go to work, they come home. They don't have none of that in their schools. Why in the hell does it get to here in the States? They're treated like they're on a prison yard. You taking away training, all that. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This didn't have to happen if they had their ass on that field and said, hey, son, you don't belong here. Go to the other side. That's your side. You can sit there. It sounds like there was no teachers involved, administration, and it sounds like they could come to school and sit there and do whatever the hell they wanted to do. This is a problem. We got to do better. CPS in schools, we have to do better. You're lacking, you're failing, and it's embarrassing, and you look tired. If we don't have the funds and the money for it, please keep your children at home. You might not have time for, I don't care if you use online homeschool, please do that. Because it seems like kids are more safe getting homeschooled or not put into these situations or getting bullied at school and come home and they're upset and do things to themselves or whatever, then it don't make no sense. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. The school system for America is failing while America is falling. And while America's falling, we as a unit of parents need to figure out what we can do to keep our children homeschooled and activities after. Because it's not going to get any better. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts and opinion in the comment section. Later.